Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And this is Tutorial Monday. And we are continuing our baby blanket by making this kitty cat applique. So it'll look like this. And I will also show you how to sew that on. Alright, let's get started with this. You can chain 3 and make a circle. I am going to use the pattern says to chain 3 to make a circle, but I'm going to use a magic circle. So we're going to chain 3 from there, and that counts as a double crochet. And we're going to put 9 more double crochets in there. So we have a total of 10 double crochets. 4, 5, 6, all right, I'm going to bring that shut. And we're going to slip stitch to the top of our chain 3. And we should have 10 double crochets. We should have 10. All right, so now this next round, we are going to chain 3. And we're going to put another double crochet in that same spot. And we are going to put 2 double crochets in each one of these double crochets. And at the end of this round, you should have 20 double crochets in this round. And then you're going to combine with a slip stitch at the top of the chain 3. So we're going to chain 3. This is round 3. Chain 3. And now we're going to put a double crochet in with this chain 3 so that there's 2 double crochets in this first stitch. The next stitch you're just going to put 1 double crochet in. And the next stitch you're going to do 2. So we're going to do 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around. Let's see if I can find it in here. Here it is. So by the end of round 3, you should have 30 double crochets. We should end up with 1 double crochet. And by the end of this round, you should have 30 double crochets. We're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And that is at the end of round 3. And that's what it looks like. Okay, so now we're going to shape the ears. And we are going to chain 5 from here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the second chain from the hook, you're going to put a slip stitch in there. And the next chain from the hook, you're going to put a single crochet. And the next chain, you're going to put a double crochet. And then the last chain, you're going to do a treble crochet. And what we're going to do is we're going to skip the next 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch into the next stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch into the next 6. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. Single crochet in the next chain. Double crochet in the next. And treble into the last chain. And then we're going to skip 2 and slip stitch in there. And then we're going to chain 1 and fasten off. I would leave a very, very long, we're going to leave a long strand for sewing on the applique. So in the back here, what we're going to do is we're going to sew down this end. I'm going to tie down this end, this first end that we had. All right. Get rid of that. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make the nose and the eyes of our little kitty cat. And I'm going to use this darker purple to make the nose. And we're going to chain 3, and in the last, or that first chain there, we're going to go in and bring out, so we have 3, right? We're going to wrap our yarn and go in again. So we're going to do it again. So you have to do this 4 times. Wrap your yarn, go in again. I'm trying to remember what they called that. And they didn't call it anything. Anyway, you should have 9 loops on your hook by the time you do that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what you're going to do is you're going to wrap your yarn and you're going to go through all 9 of those and chain 1. And then we're going to fasten it off. All right, and that is our nose. That will go right here. Now I use this green yarn to make the eyes. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to chain 3. And we're going to go in that first one. And we're just going to wrap twice. To make the eyes. Let me do that. I demonstrate with that again. The pattern says to use a button, but for baby Afghans, we can't put buttons. Buttons can come off. So we're just going to wrap our yarn and go into the first one, and we're going to do it twice. And take that off. And that is how we make the eyes and the nose. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle here and we're going to sew everything right in the middle of the circle, right here. I'm going to put this right in here on this side. And on the other side of that, straight across, I'll put that in there. So there is our little nose. All right, I'm going to turn this around and we're just going to tie this knot. And it doesn't matter that we're doing that because we're going to sew this applique on. And I'm going to tie this really good so I know this ain't going to come out. And cut it off like that. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the eyes. So you just kind of eye it out where you want these eyes. You just kind of put it in. That's a little bit too high. So you just kind of got to eye it out to see where you want them before you tie it down. There we go. And I'm going to put the other one in before we tie everything down. So that one's a little bit too high. That one needs to go in here. There we go. So they're going to lay down eventually because we're not done with these eyes. We're just tying these in for right now. So what I'm going to do is, I like the idea where I got them. I'm going to tie them in. And I'm just going to tie this about maybe 3 or 4 times. I'm going to tie it very, very tight. One more time. There. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. And like I said, you'll never see these ends because we are sewing it onto the blankets. So you'll never see those. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, I need a little bit of black yarn. Because I'm going to put some slits in the eyes with the black yarn. This is also going to cause the eyes to lay down more. I'm going to put from the bottom here into the top. Just so we have a little slit in the eye, like that. This will cause these to lay down a little bit too. And this is another way of sewing down these eyes that you know that's not going to come out. The eyes won't come off. So anyway, I put a couple of slits in the eyes, like that. And then we're just going to take and tie them together in the back. Like I said, it doesn't matter how messy this thing gets. On the back, because we're going to sew it onto the blanket and nobody's going to see this part. I want to tie this one more time and cut that off. All right. All right, now we need some of this yarn. Sew this onto the needle. And what we're going to do is, like we did here, we're going to put we're going to outline the ears and make the whiskers right here. So let's start right here. Leave a long strand for tying on the back. And I'm going straight across. All we're doing is outlining that ear. And we're going to come up to the top here and back down. And then I'm going to come back up here and back up the top of the kitty ear. And see that that outlines that ear. There we go. All right, so now we're going to turn this to the back, and I'm just going to just come over, and we're just going to travel this yarn across to the other ear. All right, so we're at the other ear, and we'll do the same thing. We're going to go in here and go across. I'm going to go up to the tip of the ear and back down. And then back here, and then back up. And that takes care of that ear. So we're just outlining the ear like a little triangle in the ears. All right, now I'm going to travel this. I turn this over again, and I'm going to travel this all the way down to the nose. You don't have to go on every stitch. There we go. All right. So we're down here to this nose. In order to get this nose to lay, see how it comes up, it flops up? We're just going to go into this stitch right here. This way we'll get this nose to lay down. Just like we did the eyes. All right. Only we're going to be putting some whiskers in here now. So we're going to go over here beside the nose and make a short whisker. And I'm going to come back in here. Don't make these tight. Then I'm going to come over here, down here, and make a larger whisker. And then we need another short whisker. So I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Now we're going to come and we're going to do a large whisker down here. Come back up in there. Leah's got to be careful not to pull those too tight, because we don't want to pull the fabric. We're going to make another large whisker right here. And then come back up. Now we need a short whisker. Put one here. And then we need a large whisker over here. And then we'll put another short whisker right here. And there we go. And there is your whiskers. We're going to turn this around. And I am going to travel this up. Back up to this other one right here. And tie these together. But on this, be careful not to tie it too tight, as you do not want to pull those. These here, we don't want to pull them too tight. There we go. Three or four times. Yes, this looks like a mess back here, but it really don't matter. So that is how we make our kitty face, our applique. So what we're going to do is you have to make 25 of those. So you make 25 of these. And I am sewing these on all the pink ones. So this one will go here, right in the middle. And just put it right here in the middle. And I like to take a couple of straight pins and hold it down. That way it won't move on me. Before I sew these on. Because I don't want it to move on me. Now I'm going to thread up the needle. Alright, so let me get this so this is comfortable. So what we're going to do here is we're going in the strands right underneath it. We're just going to catch a strand right here. And we're going to go in the back loop of the kitty cat. And we're just going to whip stitch this on using the back loop only of the kitty cat. And I'm finding a strand right behind the kitty cat. See if you can see that. Alright, so we find a strand right behind the kitty cat and go into the back loop. Then that way, on the other side, if you're just using, you will never see your stitches on the other side. Because we're just picking up a strand from the front, just a strand, and sewing it in the back loop. And I'll just take these straight pins out as I go. I like to pin things down because then I know it's not going to move on me. Well, how did you get... How'd that happen? All right. We'll go all the way around the cat like that. All right, so we are right back at this where we started from, was right here. And I am going to put a couple of knots in this. I'm just going to knot that. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just work it down into here. And I'm just going to go work it right into the cat. A few stitches down. And then I'm going to bring it back, just like I'm sewing in ends. And we're going to cut that off. There. That should be okay. All right. And here we go. There's our kitty cat. Sewed down. And so you'll do that 25 of them. So we've got this one and I've got this one now. So I need to do 23 more. So there we go. That's how we do the kitty. All right, so I will see you next time when we sew this whole thing together and put a border on it, which will be next week. And thank you for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye now.